Conversations and Opinions. I'm Tarvis.
I'm Caronica.
I'm Clorissa.
And I'm Shae. And today our episode is talking about how to accept an apology without holding a grudge. So we are going to start this off. Where we want to go? Here.
Who's a grudge holder? Raise your hand.
I think I am.
You can be.
Too,
Okay.
yeah. I don't know that it's a grudge, but I have to have a certain amount of time.
Between
Yes, to digest it.
between the event and the apology, or between
yeah.
the apology and you accepting
Both.
it? Okay.
Because I have to, I've started looking at myself and saying, okay, well, what did I do wrong or say? And then it goes back to, okay, if it's my delivery, but they still deal with me, then why is it that you feel like I have a grudge? Just allow me my feelings, my emotions. Let me go through that, and then we rolling. But if you truly know me, even in the midst of an apology or anything, I'm not holding a grudge. Because I'm going to still do what I do. It's just I pull back.
But is that holding a grudge? Because when I think of holding a grudge, I think of just more so putting yourself, stepping away from a person. Like, if I call you, you won't answer the phone, or you're acting not like yourself towards another person. And
yes, I do act like not myself, because now I'm in a state of, first of all, comprehending what was said to me. Mm-hmm. Then I'm digesting what was said to me. And then I look at me and say, well, if I heard that, would I feel some type of way? But again, I'm a straight shooter, so I don't like people to tiptoe and sugarcoat, tell me what it is. I may not agree, may not like it, but in that, I think that's the difference too, in people thinking I may hold a grudge because I don't respond how they feel I should respond. Mm-hmm. But you can't expect anybody to respond how you want to. They are allowed to be who they authentically are in that situation.
Mm-hmm. Can you read what a grudge is? Somebody wrote.
Look it up.
But the reason why I'm asking is because sometimes we think a definition is one way, but it might mean something a little more.
You want to make sure you're clear on that.
So the definition of grudge is a persistent feeling of ill will or resentment resulting from a past insult or injury.
So you're staying in a certain state.
Yes, persistent feeling of ill will.
Persistent feeling. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, then I guess I don't.
Yeah,
or do it.
If you are
what you're explaining doesn't sound like. That's why I asked, because
that's why I needed the definition.
It sounds more like a process. A process to me is more so of, like you say, how you feel and you going through the emotions of what you've heard.
Right.
Mm-hmm. So, but if you are upset at me and acting funny towards me because of the information I provided to you, then to me that's more of a grudge.
Yes.
Wait a minute, say that again. You said now. What did you say?
So if you're so what you explained to me is like the process of going through your emotions and trying to understand what the information someone has given you. Right. But to me, when I think of a grudge, I'm thinking of, okay, you provided me this information, and because you provided me this information, I'm now going to disconnect myself in a way where I'm almost like I'm showing you like, I don't want to be bothered with you,
which is leading right into the verb meaning of it, to be resentfully unwilling to give, grant, or allow something. So you're not allowing the person to even share their apology with you. You're begrudgingly keeping yourself away from them. You're unwilling to even see them or their point. So yeah. Dang. Yeah, accepting an apology means that you've decided you're not going to hold a grudge. Mm-hmm. Right. If you say I accept your apology, that means I am accepting that I felt the way I felt. You have expressed your sorrow for making me feel that way, and that's it. Like, what else are we doing? If I say I accept your apology, now you cannot accept an apology.
Right.
You have the right to say, you know what? No, this is the 900th time we've gone through this, and your apology does not even make any sense anymore.
But just because they didn't accept it, does that mean they're holding a grudge?
Nope.
Oh,
not to me.
Just check.
Not
Just
to me.
So you either gonna like when you think about a marriage or someone who has been through something with their spouse, and the person, you know how men or women say, you keep going back to what was or the situation that we argued about so many times over and over. And that means that person did not accept your apology.
That means they're holding a grudge. They said out their mouth that they accepted your apology.
Because you either holding a grudge about the situation or you accepted their apology. You can't be both.
Right.
Yes.
Right. You can't.
And then you didn't accept the apology.
Yeah.
Yeah, accept an apology without holding a grudge. Because that means you lied.
Here we go.
If you say, I accept your apology, that comes with the undertone that I'm not going to bring this up 900 times moving forward.
But did he say that? Did he or she say that?
That's my interpretation, so everybody is
okay, so that's your perception.
Right.
But is that fact?
Girl, why you don't want no definition? Either we don't go with the definition, we're not going with the definition.
No, but honestly, like just in any situation. You know what I'm saying? If somebody, you trip over somebody's foot, it's like, well, that foot went out the second I was coming around you. And you say you're sorry one time, okay, all right, cool.
Right.
But if you do it every time I walk past you and your foot is coming out, now this I don't accept your apology anymore, because actually this is something you're doing on purpose. So you can accept an apology, and if you do, you've accepted, okay, things are bad.
That was one incident.
Yes. And things are leveled. Okay, that happened, and okay, we're moving past it.
Right.
If you accept it.
If you can't move past it, then you didn't accept their apology.
Right.
And that
And
means
people,
that you are holding a grudge.
And people sometimes do not accept apologies and say, look, I need more time.
Yeah.
I need, those are things because you're trying to sort out your feelings.
Bless you.
And you're like, okay, I need to figure out what is what.
Yeah.
And that's not holding a grudge only because
it's not holding a grudge.
I was just getting ready to say.
No, I'm just saying that's just
you're processing.
You're processing.
Right,
that's not holding a grudge.
Right. You haven't decided.
Yeah, you haven't decided whether you want to. Holding a grudge to me is when you're doing things. Or we've all been in thing like, are we good? Like, what happened? Like, and then the person's acting funny. And people try to play it off like they don't know what funny mean. When you say acting funny, we all know that feeling that you get when somebody's acting funny.
Yeah.
You call them 1,000 times and ain't nobody answering the phone. And
then, never mind.
And the other time they blowing your phone up, and now it's like you know that feeling. So when you're doing those type of things, then there is you were just speaking the words, but you really didn't mean it.
So how do you accept an apology for those people who have a difficult time accepting apologies without holding a grudge? What are some ways that you can? For me, I literally just say, okay, I accept the fact that you've expressed, you understand where I'm coming from. Thank you for acknowledging my feelings. My feelings are leveled again. I'm not high, I'm not low. I'm back to my normal with you. So thank you. And we're moving past it. That works for me. Some people are like, oh, that was too easy. You just let people get away with anything. But for me, I'm resetting my own mental space.
Okay.
Not really trying to be concerned about what's going to happen to me next, because protecting your peace is partially,
what
you know what I'm saying? Like I don't have to be all loud and ignorant. If
it doesn't take that.
It doesn't take that.
Because to me, if it's a different level, if it gets to that point.
Yeah.
But I feel like grace. Because we all,
you feel like what?
It's grace.
Okay.
We all have been in circumstances where somebody shouldn't accept your apology. I mean, we're just gonna be real. Like, so when you put yourself and be like, okay, especially if some situations are not that serious.
Yeah.
To let it drag on, or to go to the next level. So I feel like giving people grace, like, okay, that happened. They may have said that, but nowadays we're in a place where everything is a problem. So I feel like it's just getting grace, like, okay, putting yourself in that shoes, like, have I done this before? Because sometimes I think we forget that we were on the other side sometimes. Yeah. So that's how I look at it as far as trying to accept an apology.
Yeah.
But even in accepting apologies, sometimes you have individuals that'll still do pot shots at you. So what do you do then?
Address it.
But it's almost like, oh, well, girl, I don't really no, but I ain't holding a grudge, but just doing just that egging, that poking, that poking. Mm-hmm. So I'm like to myself, are you still holding a grudge? Or have you let it go? What, are you trying to mess with me?
Well,
what
if
you doing?
It becomes an issue where you're constantly questioning yourself every time you're in their presence, then it's time for you to make a decision to move on, like move past people, because sometimes people think that giving you or accepting your apology is they doing you a favor.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to forgive you this time.
Yeah.
It's like, you actually don't have to.
Right.
We could actually just not be talking at all. We could, so if they're treating it as though they're doing you a favor, or every time you come around, they still doing that thing, you're like, well, I don't like this space. I don't like this.
Right.
Make a decision for yourself.
Or just conversation. Like, the only way, this is just from my experience, I feel like some friendships, some things are lost because conversations have not been had. Yeah. People's feelings get in the way of facts. And
you said? Say that again. And did you say feelings get in the way of people's facts? Is that what you said?
Yeah, because if you don't have conversations, we don't know what the other person is thinking. So we only know what you feel and how you feel about the situation. And sometimes having those hard conversations with friends, family, spouse, everything, it kind of changes. Like, you know what, this ain't even that serious. Like, we both, it's, to me, just having those conversations, like you said, those hard conversations.
I think, so when it comes to the whole grudge thing, it's a lot of things, components with it. Because sometimes people want you not to hold a grudge, but they never even apologize.
Yeah.
So then you have, so you have situations like that. So sometimes you just have to be the bigger person, in my opinion, because sometimes
you won't get an apology.
Everybody isn't made up to give apologies.
And then some people don't believe that they're, like, when you think of certain situations, now that you brought that up, when you think of certain situations, if you got two people who don't feel like they're in the wrong, no one's seeing it from the other point of view, what do you do at that point?
Yeah. Everybody kind of stands in their own truth and decides to go their separate way. Yeah. That's when you agree to disagree.
Yeah. So in my opinion, so it's like, it's so many situations, like, it depends on what the situation is. Like you said, some things are just menial. Like, y'all just had a disagreement or whatever case may be. And then you have some things that people just feel like, do I even want to move past the situation? And it's not necessarily holding a grudge. It's just the fact that I feel like I'm above the situation. I'm not going to. Yeah, exactly.
At the end of the day, it really boils down to, like, is it that deep? Because, like, when you think about all these situations where you're holding a grudge, people hold grudges against a brother or a sister for 20 years over some stupid stuff.
Yeah.
Like, but if they die tomorrow, you're going to be on the floor throwing yourself around crying because you've been holding this grudge over she stole your cookie. No. Some people hold grudges over the most smallest things. And it's so stupid. So for me, it's all about the value of the relationship. Yeah. If you my sister, my cousin, my brother, you know what I'm saying? If we have a disagreement, it's like, girl, you hurt my feelings.
Right.
You really hurt my feelings.
Right. But at the same time,
I'm done. But
yeah, and I agree with you, Clorissa, so much. But at the same time, if you're, regardless of whether it's your sibling, your mother, your father, anybody, if they do not respect you enough to even want to give you the type of relationship that you feel that is valuable, because in your mind it can be valuable, but the reason y'all having this issue maybe in their mind is not.
And that's why self-peace is the most important component of all of it, because there are people who, like, you see on TV where people are like, oh, my mom was the worst mom, or my dad wasn't there, and then you don't know their story. Their truth is, I was addicted to heroin, and it was better to not be around you because I had a problem. For your own sake, holding a grudge, for me, like, I have people that don't like certain things about me or what I do or how I do it or how I delivered something to them at some point. But it's like, for me, okay, all right, I still love you though, and I don't want any problems. Right. I don't want any problems.
You don't want no smoke.
I don't want any smoke, especially not with people that I care about. Now, if you're a person who is a disposable relationship, which we all have those in our lives.
Not disposable.
There are. If I can live without you, okay.
Well, I feel like a lot of things are disposable. Yeah. If it's not mean you for good.
Yeah.
Right. But that's because we were brought up. If I have a sibling or a cousin that is doing me more harm than good, then you have to go.
For self's sake.
But for silly things, like you said, some things we're arguing about that isn't really that serious. Can we just have a conversation, squash it, and keep it moving? But for certain things, it's like, you may be stealing from me. You may be doing these type of things from me.
Yeah.
And that's why like-minded means that to me. Like-minded means that you value the same things that I do. Like you value the relationship. You value respect. You value, that's when I think of like-minded. So those are the type of people I would want around me. The other people, unfortunately, whatever category you fit in, because you can't. I mean, in a perfect world, yes, we want all our family and friends to be that way, but sometimes it just doesn't work out there.
That's right. That's why I said the value of the relationship
and
is
even
what dictates.
Right. I'm sorry.
No, that's it.
No, I was just gonna say even when it comes to like work, or when it comes to just other types of like relationships that we encounter, just working relationships, it could be anything. And so like when you got somebody who, because my thing is, I can tell you, oh, this is how I feel about the situation. If you discount how I feel about what you have done or said or how you treated me, then you really don't really care about the relationship. So there's no point in me going out my way to keep it.
Interesting.
That's just my opinion.
So here's a question. Have any of you held grudges?
I'm the type of person that, and most people who, I get over stuff very quick. Like, I could be mad at you today, and tomorrow I'm like, hey, you want to go get something to eat? And everybody on the other phone is like, what is wrong with you? Like, we are in a fight. Like, why are you still talking to me? So I'm not a grudge holder, but if you consistently do stuff to me, I feel like I have my eye watching you, but it's not necessarily like I'm not going to answer I'm not answering your calls. I'm not going to not go to dinner with you. I'm not going to change who I am.
Okay.
So I don't know if that's still considered grudging, but no, I don't.
Do you?
I don't think so. I really don't think so. And I have had situations where I didn't accept the apology and left it there. That's not holding a grudge. It's just I've released it. You don't owe me an apology anymore. You don't even have to be concerned.
My expectations change.
Yeah, my expectations change. You don't even owe me that. You know what? It's go on. Don't be concerned about what's over here. So yeah, I don't think I hold grudges because I forgive extremely easily. Like people always say, "Oh my God," I'm like, well, you know, what's the point? If they die tomorrow, I'll be sad. That's how I think. So I think like that because if the relationship is valuable, am I gonna be mad that you no-showed me at the movies last night? You know what I'm saying? Like people get so upset over stuff, and it's like life happens, things happen. The relationship is valuable enough to move past little stupid stuff like that. So no, I don't hold grudges.
Shae. So that's why I needed to listen to the definition because I try to be truly honest with myself about certain things because I don't think I'm a grudge holder because I'm usually super nice and I'm usually try to be super understanding like when it comes to a lot of certain things. But I feel like if you truly apologize to me and meant it, then I don't mind forgiving that situation. But if you ain't apologized to me and you trying to make me feel like shit, then that's a problem. Then I'm the type of person I'll just cut you off and I don't want to ever talk to you again.
Do you feel resolve in your spirit when you do that?
I actually do.
Okay, that's good then. That's a good thing. If you're not thinking about it and you're not constantly going back to it, then that's good.
I'm serious. I've had people that I've literally cut off and I felt so good.
That's like releasing the
literally.
That's preserving that peace.
That's just how I am. Like I'm the type of person that I will leave and just be like,
that wasn't for me.
See, I won't. I don't know if I would like to use the word cut off it's some friendships that may have been resolved, who have dissolved because of the fact that we just didn't come to agreement. Because sometimes, like we were saying, your truth is your truth and my truth is my truth. If you can't come to a medium,
happy medium, and respect each other's position.
Yes, then sometimes you're going, because sometimes we fight to be right.
Yeah, that's a lot of
we fight to be what I'm saying, how I'm feeling is the right way, and you're feeling how you feeling is the right way, and that's why I said some friendships. Friendship dissolved, and it could have been saved if you just agreed that
we have different opinions.
I feel this way, you feel this way. It's not wrong. Either feelings are not wrong. It's just the way you feel and how I feel.
As long as that person ain't got evidence.
Oh my goodness!
Have
you got evidence?
See, but I think listening to you guys, I think I have held a grudge. I'm trying.
How did that happen?
Her phone is the official mascot of the podcast. His voice wants to be heard. It's like I'm part of this production.
I'm a firm believer in when I tell you that this bothers me, and you consistently do, then you just don't even care about what I said. But my feelings ain't facts. There's no evidence, but in my mind, my feelings are facts.
Yeah. And that's what I'm basing my forward movement on.
Right.
And that's why a lot of people, that's what I'm saying, a lot of people can't get past that. A lot of friendships can't get past that. Your feelings are facts, my feelings are facts. So we ain't friends no more.
So that's considered holding a grudge.
I don't
think that's not holding a grudge. I think it's how you go about, because I think being self-aware that we all feel a certain type of way. I'm not gonna not talk to you because of the way you feel, even though I might not accept the way you feel, and I'm not gonna stop talking to you. Now, if I stop talking to you because of the way you feel, then I'm holding a grudge based on you're not agreeing, coming to my side to agree.
Okay.
And in the more like plain sense, it's still being present in the situation, but withholding certain things.
Yes.
You know, in relationships, you say you forgive for something, then you withhold sex for 6 months because I'm just still, you know what I'm saying?
But I ain't withholding sex.
No, but you know what I'm saying? But like you do things, or
I'm sorry.
You think you're forgiven, and then now you're not invited to the lunch that you used to be invited to every Wednesday. It's like, okay, so the grudge thing is saying out of your mouth that you are okay with me, but your actions are showing something different.
Yes.
So if you move on from something, or you release it, or you let go of it, that's not holding a grudge. That's releasing it so that you are not dealing with it emotionally, and you've freed them up from even owing you the apology, or you freed yourself up from having to give an apology from somebody who doesn't seem to want to accept your apology.
Because what you're saying, basically what you're saying is your mind goes to, when you don't accept the person's apology, it's like, you don't need to give me one, because now I have realized this is who you are.
Yep.
That's your personality. That's what you're not willing to alter it. So now it's me saying, if I want to continue my journey with you, but I'm not asking you to apologize anymore, because now my expectations of you are
different.
Different.
That's right.
Like there is no expectation.
Because if you have a friend that runs her mouth and talks all the time, and she tells your business all the time, you're like, and she can't stop telling your business.
Right.
Then now I have to change. If I want to keep you in my life now, I can't tell you anything that's important.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Correct.
So now you don't owe me an apology anymore, because I'm changing the way I do things. It's not holding a grudge. It's just I'm modifying
how I deal
so
with you. I can still be cool with you.
Yeah. Now that's really important to say, because sometimes when you are in a relationship with a person, male, female, whatever the situation may be, sometimes you have to modify the relationship, because sometimes you could have been just so open and giving and so much with this person, and once you realize that this person does not deserve that much openness, then you have to kind of like back up and say, okay, so I have to spoon feed you a certain type of way in order for me to be able to be around you.
And it's funny you should say that, because I always say in a relationship, and I mean any relationship, you need to check the pulse. And people think I'm excessive when I say every 30 days, because just like time continues, we all evolve and change daily. So you have to check the pulse. You have to have the conversation. And like you said, you have to reevaluate some relationships and decide what you're willing to take or not take, or your expectations have changed. And with that being said, do you think with that individual that you're not holding a grudge to, or did whatever, do you think you should tell them that your expectations have changed?
No, because that's too much. It's still you putting out more effort.
Okay,
that causes a whole nother situation.
Yeah, because now they're thinking is going into other people's feelings. If I tell you that I'm doing this, and it's like, well, why? Yeah, no, I'm just choosing because you can't keep your mouth closed. Yeah. I'm choosing
if they come back and ask you, then you can can say, well, you know what, I made a personal decision to just kind of pull back. I changed up a couple things, and that's it. Nothing to do with you. I mean, it had to do with that situation, but don't take it personally. This is what I did. This is what I chose to do.
You can just let them know if somebody approaches you and asks you, why you stop doing so and so, or why you don't tell me this no more? Because I don't feel comfortable having that conversation with you. Because of the last past hurt that I had, now I have to be careful of how I relay my information.
Our feelings, and your feelings aren't facts.
Right, but here's the thing too, though. If you make an announcement and they don't give a care, you like, I've went through this whole thing. I released you, and my expectations have changed. And they're like, girl, so I ain't called you in 3 weeks. I'm not concerned about that. Now you've amped yourself back up. You think you've had this growth, and then you express,
and you're almost showing them. Like, I'm gonna show you, and it's like that kind of comes off.
You're more bothered.
Yeah, like you're coming off like, oh, I'm this superior person.
You're talking about unless you just go to them and ask him without them.
But I'm saying that if you're making an announcement to someone who doesn't feel like they are what you're saying,
even if they came to you and asked you,
if they asked, that's different.
I'm picking about what she was saying. If you made this announcement, you're saying that I'm superior to you, so I'm not gonna call you no more. And you're like, girl, who are you? Like, you're not calling me? Like, when somebody is basically, it's a threat. And those are things that
that is a threat.
When you start putting threats into things, like, then you become the problem. If you're the person who and then you start adding threats, because when you say too much, it becomes both of you. You kind of you turn it around. But the threats are the ones that now you're threatening this person in so many ways.
You're telling them what you will and won't, and kind of like putting them in this box.
Yeah. Or you're getting your feelings hurt because you made this announcement, and I've had somebody say, haven't you noticed I ain't called you in a month? Actually, no, I didn't. I didn't realize it at all.
Really?
Because I have been so busy doing the other things that are important. No, I didn't notice. Dang, it's like that. Well, I mean, you wanted to make this announcement to me that you purposely weren't calling me because you were trying to make me feel some kind of way.
See, those are things that will make me cut you off. Yeah. Threats and announcements of some sort.
Ow!
Keep the
announcement of the
because to me, it can be just having a conversation, but when you start, because it takes my mind to a totally different.
Haven't you noticed this? Like,
yeah, it takes me to a totally different, like, wow, really? Like, we're going there? Like,
how young are we? How petty are we? Yeah. What's going on? How old are we?
So do y'all have a petty patty in your life? Or have you been the petty patty? Made an announcement? I don't know. But yeah, I think if you accept an apology, you move past it. Yeah. Life is too short. The world is in all of the disarray every single day. It's not even worth it. Personal peace, self-care, serenity.
So guys, insecurities, grudges, accepting apologies without a grudge. How many of you do that? Are you willing to tell the truth about that? Are you willing to have a conversation about that? Do you even care? Let us know. Subscribe, like, comment, and as always, we appreciate you supporting Conversations and Opinions, and we'll talk to you next time. Peace.